Welcome my friends, today we're going to install optical windshield protection film on this Cadillac Escalade. I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to do it. We have cut our film out, we have measured our windshield and just cut a piece out. This optical film is going to come in 3 layers. You have a top layer that is going to protect the outside of the film, and then you have the middle layer, which is the film that's going to be laid on the windshield, and then the backing is where the adhesive is. So that protects the adhesive until you're ready to actually install it. So first steps is actually wash the car, get the windshield clayed. The second step is actually we're going to make a template. So because of this top layer here, you can see I can literally just pull it off. Here, you can see the 3 different layers there, right? So when I pull this off, this is the outside layer, this is my actual film, the adhesives on the bottom, and that is the top layer. So this layer here is just a cap sheet. It's an extra cap sheet, and I like to pull this off, and I'm actually gonna make a template of the windshield just to make this film easier to put on there and manage, and we'll get a rough cut with this. So literally just pull this off. It helps to have a second set of hands too. So pull that off the film, and now let's set this down right here. So the windshield is dirty right now. We haven't cleaned it before we do the install. And then the second part is we're actually gonna remove some of the trim pieces. So you can see the edge of the window here. We're gonna lay the film on the actual glass on the outside here. We're going to squeegee it out, and we're gonna end up trimming it right to this edge to make it to where you can't see it. And then you have a big line here. That's why we're gonna cut out the template. So this is pretty easy to remove. There's just one little pop tab here. Pull that out, and then this piece just comes out. That little piece just comes out, and that's gonna help us get that windshield film all the way right to the edge. This is why it's nice to have 2 people. We're gonna take this liner, and we're gonna set it right on top of the windshield, and this will be our template. And this is just a rough template. You can see how big that piece of film is, and we have a curve down here that we have to cover, and it's just gonna be easier to do this template. So go ahead and pull it. And we're gonna make sure the window is covered, and we'll set it down. Go ahead. Right? So what we're actually gonna do is I'm taking a marker here, not using a knife. And what I'm gonna do is actually use this marker and go along the edge here. This just gives us our rough cut, so we can make managing the film just a little bit easier when we're transferring it from the table to the windshield. Now, we have our piece of film on our table. What we're gonna do is take that and put it right on top of this film, and we're gonna cut outside of our marker line just so we have some extra on all sides and get this a little smaller, easier to manage and put on the actual windshield. Adhesive side is down, very important. Now we're just gonna take our knife, and I'm gonna cut right outside of this, just leaving us a little bit of a gap. All right. Remove all the excess. Our top liner here now, we can dispose of that. We don't need that anymore. Unless you wanna roll it up and label it. If you do a lot of a certain car, you can have this template, save it, be able to cut it out. All right, there's our templates. Now this is where you have to work really clean. We're gonna get ready to transfer that piece of film and install it on the exterior of the windshield. So we're gonna clean it. So I have a bigger squeegee, I have some clay, and I have my smaller squeegee, which I'm gonna use for the install. So I have a mixture of baby shampoo and water. I did 5 drops of baby shampoo in our pressurized pump sprayer here. So with this, we're gonna come on over. On the edge of the trim, we wanna make sure that's super clean. We're gonna clay it, we're gonna squeegee this, and just get it super, super clean before we actually do our install. So. Clean this bottom edge here and get that super, super clean. Clean this whole piece of trim. You don't want anything getting in there. This is a new car. If you had like a used car, polishing it would be a very good idea. So we're gonna clean it a couple more times here and squeegee it. Just wanna make sure there's no dust or anything. Now it's time to transfer the windshield film on. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hold it up, we're gonna remove the backing. I'm gonna spray it at the same time. I'm gonna clean the windshield one more time before we actually do all this. And we want to do this as fast as possible, right? So we want to clean that windshield, get enough liquid on the windshield, remove the backing liner, spray that backing liner with our solution, and get the film on top of the windshield as fast as we can so we can prevent any contamination from the air falling in between the film and the windshield. So you got to do it quick. It's great to have two people to do this. So I've cleaned the windshield a couple times now. I've gotten all my edges as clean as possible. I'm gonna spray it down one last time, and this is where I'm gonna work a little quicker. So I'm gonna clean this one last time, spray it down just like it is right now with a good layer of the soap. We're gonna grab the film, pull off the backing layer, and get the film on the windshield. There we go. Now while we're holding it, we're gonna spray this film. Then we're gonna grab the four corners and we're going to lay it on the windshield. Perfect. All right, the film can move now, right? We can kind of adjust it and make sure we have enough film on each side, just a little bit of overhang. I'm gonna check both sides. If you need to add a little more slip solution, you can just open that up and add a little more in there. Okay, looks like we got good coverage on each side. We got overhang. All right, so now we can start squeegeeing out this film. Spray just a little of your solution on the outside of the film. This will help your squeegee glide, and we're gonna start right in the middle. We're gonna do one line, one solid squeegee, up and down, just like so. And now what we're gonna do is, if you have a curve, you wanna just pull this just ever so slightly, and we're gonna do the top here. And that is gonna secure that top. And now, I like to go towards the corner. So we're literally gonna do overlapping passes here, and we're pulling all of that solution right to the corner. And squeegee everything right out. Again, going towards the corner. Same thing. Yep, we're a little sticky, so we're gonna just spray some more back there. You don't want any dry spots when you're doing this, so just make sure you have enough solution behind that film. All right, so we're gonna pull this just slightly, and there's not even much there, so it doesn't even need much of a pull, but we're gonna do that top section, and I'm gonna work everything right to this corner. Take our towel, wipe everything down, make sure you've squeegeed really well, you haven't left any air pockets or water or soap behind, right to the edges here. Yes, yes, beautiful. All right, we're gonna wait 10 to 20 minutes. We're gonna let those edges dry and set up, flush them with water. It's just regular distilled water. You want to get all that soap out, and then it'll dry, and then you're able to trim all the edges. We're going to trim the edge right to the edge of the window. We're actually going to use the side of the window to actually cut it right along the side, and it'll be seamless. You won't even see it. All right, we're gonna trim the film. I'm using just a normal window tint blade, not a PPF blade. What we wanna do is just score the top of the film and remove the excess. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. So I'm gonna start on the bottom first. I'm gonna start my blade. I'm gonna put it right on the edge of where that gasket is and where the edge of the film is. And I'm gonna drag it along, just scoring the top of the film. When I get to this point, I don't want to go to a point like this because then you'll end up scratching. Kind of just turn around here and finish my cut. Now I can just tear it off, and then I just squeegee that edge to make sure it's all the way down right there. On the top here, I'm actually gonna just put my blade out just a little bit, and I'm gonna use the edge of the window to actually guide my blade along the windshield for the top and the sides. So final step here is I am going to just make sure the water is out of all the edges And then I like using the heat gun and pushing out the edges and make sure everything is super dry, ready to go. We'll clean it, and this is ready to go. The customer is now gonna have a protected windshield from those small little rock chips driving. It's gonna be super hydrophobic. We do recommend putting a ceramic coating on top of this windshield. It's just going to help with some of the wiper marks and everything. Keep the wipers clean. Highly recommend that your customer don't use the windshield wipers when it's completely covered in salt or dirt. And I know that's gonna be hard to do. You wanna use those windshield wipers, but this is a TPU film. It is not as hard as glass, so it can get wiper marks if there's a ton of dirt on there and you start using your windshield wipers. So just be aware of that. That's the film, super proud of it, super optically clear and now available.